All right, and now we'll bring back on my casters to get ready for series number 2. But first, I mean, that's a good one. That's a good one, huh?
You would have picked RoboCop.
Is Bloodsport the Jean-Claude Van Damme one?
It is. It's the one where he has the classic move where he there's the guy's 3 feet taller than him and he just drops into the splits and goes for the nut shot. It's incredible.
RoboCop,
amazing cinema.
Man. How can you not remake RoboCop? That's an absolute classic.
Yeah.
They're making a game. They are remaking a video game for it. Also, I don't think anybody understands the movie Over the Top. It's the only movie that's ever been made about arm wrestling, and it's fantastic. You should check it out. So
you would be the person to know about that. See, I just know
basically just Rocky, but
with arm wrestling.
My stepdad watches a lot of these absolutely trash kung fu movies from the 70s and 80s.
Yes.
Whenever I see Bloodsport, I'm just like, trash kung fu movies. Let's go.
Well,
we're not trash.
Speaking of hopefully not some trash action that will be coming up next, Team Liquid versus Dignitas Academy. 2 of the teams more towards the top of the standings. So if we're going to compare this, probably Rocky 3. I think that's an apt comparison right here. I haven't seen any of the Rocky movies. I just hope that's a good one. Let's take a look at the first roster. Dignitas Academy are up first. And when we look at this team, they have a couple new members, right? Hoon in particular coming in here. Joshi, this is a player that has really high aspirations. What's been your first thought before we hear his own thoughts? What's been your impression of Hoon?
He's a good laner. Yeah. After that, but he's a good laner.
All right. Well, hey, that's step number 1 in order to seed well into a team. If you can actually do well in your lane, then usually you can learn the teamwork afterwards. But we actually had a chance to speak with Hoon earlier on in his debut and get his thoughts of his goals and aspirations here in North America. So what are your personal goals in North America? What do you want to accomplish while you're playing here?
First goals and first LCS meeting and goals.
Okay, so you want to win the LCS? He wants to win LCS, go to Worlds, Deserix. That's a 2-step plan if ever I've heard one.
It's a 2-step plan. He's kind of got a journey to get there, though, right? Because in week number 1 and
just
week
2
number
steps.
2... Week number 1, week number 2, he's kind of getting the soul treatment right now. You know, he's been going against a lot of these higher-end, experienced veteran top laners. I feel bad that he had to go against Dokla in his very first game arriving here. But Surdy, Darshan, I agree with Joshi. He's been laning quite decently well. But I do feel like it's very back and forth when it comes to Hoon. More specifically when it comes to fights. When Dignitas are getting engaged on, it feels like Hoon is a little bit more shaky then, but when Dignitas are doing engages, that's when you start to see Hoon shine out.
Exactly. When Dignitas are making the plays, when they are setting things up, Hoon has definitely been looking quite a bit better. But it's also a position where, Dokla did a tier list of the top laners in LCS and Academy recently, and Hoon, he put question marks. He's like, I don't know, I played against this guy once. There's not a whole lot that necessarily happened in that. But Hoon has had some of the best laning stats that we've seen so far. Second in CSD at 10 behind only Tenacity, and it has the highest damage per minute of everybody in Academy this split, with the exception of the 1 game or the 2 games that Dokla played when he came down and helped out the rest of CLG. So when Hoon is in that kind of company already of Tenacity and Dokla, he's doing quite well for himself.
He also listed players from North America that he aspires to be as good as Core JJ, Someday, Impact, players that have made runs, been at the top of North America.
Players, right?
Yep. all of our favorite North American players that all of us love and cherish. But of course, all jokes aside, that's the path he's trying to follow. He sees a roadmap of how it's been accomplished before, and he's hoping that he can as well accomplish that up against Team Liquid Academy, the #1 team here in Academy. This is tough competition. Dignitas are in the top half of the standings right now, but they've been hovering there. They have not been dominantly standing at the top in these last 2 weeks, whereas Team Liquid Academy, Joshi, as we look at this team, they are looking fierce.
They are on track for potentially one of the most dominant splits in Academy we have ever seen. I actually looked it up in terms of win percentages from what we were looking at before.
Sure.
Currently, Team Liquid sitting around the upper 70s, but the
79% right now.
79%. But I actually looked it up. The 2 most dominant splits we have ever had were in summer of 2019, where Cloud9 went 15-3 and 83% win rate. And then before that, Cloud9 Academy went 16-2 in summer of 2018 with an 89% win rate. And Team Liquid right on their heels, trying to showcase how strong they can be. And Team Liquid, when they are winning, they're not just winning, they're speed running other teams.
And Desrex, when we look at Team Liquid, we have to look at the player. I wish I had a coin on me because I'd flip it right now. Are we getting Shadley or are we getting badly? Because this is the player that Team Liquid Academy oftentimes either, when things are working smooth and there's no issues with the game, everything is popping off. But then sometimes Bradley will go for plays like this where, you know, he's contesting a Scuttle Crab while his team's taking Dragon. Then he's getting dove under turret. And then he'll turn around to do a crazy play afterwards. So what do we think about Bradley's consistency and his growth as a player in the top lane?
You know what? It is something to point out that he's one of the shakiest pieces of Team Liquid, but keep in mind, we're saying this about one of the most well-oiled machines we've ever seen. He's still a completely good player, and one of the things I do like about him is his ability to adapt on the fly. As you were saying just a second ago, he has moments where he does look pretty bad. We do get badly, we don't get a good performance, but then we get this where series to series, he will find that adaptation, outlane his opponent, and out-team fight his opponent.
Those were all 3 clipped in the same game, by the way. We saw all 3 versions of Bradley in one game.
And Bradley is very interesting to watch, right? We know he's kind of feeling the heat. He is the rookie on what Desrek said, the most well-oiled machine we currently have in Academy. Team Liquid have been looking stellar. And Bradley knows it. He knows that right now he's the one piece that really needs to step up and be a top-tier player. But Dokla had him in Tier 1. Dokla is saying, this guy's pretty good, and Bradley is not far behind, right? He is second in KDA, behind, again, only Darshan and Dokla, and third in damage per minute, meaning that he's only behind Hoon, and again, Dokla coming down. Our most valuable prospect, LCS player, has been looking absolutely stellar. Bradley has been looking a lot better than a lot of people might think he has.
With our magnifying glass on the top lane, that's where we'll send it over to Pick and Ban. Hoon hoping to win the LCS and go to Worlds representing North America at some point in his 2-step plan versus Bradley, the lane swap rookie, who is hoping to step up to the expectations of this team. With that said, Desrix, take it away for Pick and Ban of game number 1.
Now, for this matchup, Josh, I do want to say, Team Liquid have slipped up here and there. The last one was a big one against Golden Guardians. That was the last big defeat that they've had. Since it has been smooth sailings, but it is a fallible team.
Yeah, I mean, we know Team Liquid at their best looks absolutely ridiculous, right? They speedran Immortals, I believe it was, in like 18.5 minutes earlier this split. They play very fast. And to be entirely honest, we have to give them, because we have such high expectations for this team, we can be a little bit more nitpicky in our criticisms of them. They've been looking a little bit sloppy in their laning phases over the past couple of weeks, and that's been the one place where I feel like they can kind of step up. And I know there are some things going on. They've been having a little bit of a rough time in their personal lives recently. We won't get into that, but as they come back, as we saw the amount of growth that Yan made between spring and summer, we expect that Yan and Ayla will continue to have a fantastic time going against this relatively new duo of Neo and JJ.
Okay, so final ban comes in. Lots of marksman bans all together across the draft so far. Waiting for that first pick to come out, and it is going to be some crucial stuff towards the top side. I am expecting first pick to come. Actually, we're going straight for the Lulu on this one, so that's getting locked in right now. Lots of marksmen you can really go with paired alongside the Lulu. Lots of them that are banned away at the moment.
Yeah. Karma, though, has been one of the most played here, coming out for Ayla, plays alongside Ezreal, played alongside almost anything, really. Like, he just really likes this champion. It's very versatile, you can do a whole lot with it, but now he's going to be going up against Dignitas, and this is the big thing that we're looking at, right? I said that Neo, when he first came down, very consistent player in what he looks to do. He's not necessarily going to be very aggressive in the laning phase, he's not necessarily going to be going very far forward in a lot of these team fights, but he provides a very stable bottom lane for the rest of Dignitas to play around, and it allows the rest of the top side to kind of be a bit more volatile with the way that they're looking to play the game.
Now, this has been a very successful champion coming out for XU right now. The Viego locked in.
the
Out of the
Katarina.
last out of the last 5 games that have been played at Dignitas Academy. The 4 wins that they've gotten have been XU on this Viego. Only 1 loss coming out, and that was on the Wukong. So XU, lots of comfort to lock in this pick as it gets paired with the Nautilus.
Yeah, and we have to remember, right? The big story for me when I look at XU, he's his first round robin. Not particularly impressive. For somebody that Rafa has currently pegged for his most valuable prospect looking towards the end of summer, if we don't like the first round robin, not what we were looking for. But when Belveth came out, it allowed Dignitas to once again kind of reconfigure around the way that they wanted to play. They've been more active around the Rift Heralds, they've been more active around the Dragons, and it allows them to make these mid-game plans in ways that really allowed Dignitas to stabilize some of the kind of chaotic gameplay that they were looking at previously. And XU, I feel, has been a big part of that.
This is a bit of a Armeo special. He really does love going to that Trundle wheelhouse. He's going to lock that one in. One of his others most played. He's been playing a lot of Viego this season, a lot of Volibear this season. It's fun to see the Trundle, especially paired with a very, very safe bot lane that we had of a Team Liquid so far. And spicy pick, I was kind of hoping we would see the Samira get locked in over there, but not willing to go for it just yet will be Dignitas. Hover, the Jinx. Waiting for that lock in as the clock ticks down. It is going to be Jinx and Nautilus in the bot lane.
And as the Jinx plus the Nautilus does come through, this is something where Team Liquid, they're going to be very aggressive in this lane, right? The amount of aggression that you see coming out from Yan and Ayla is ridiculous. Now, I was talking to Spawn recently, as we have some content coming out about Team Liquid in the near future. They made the claim, the coach Spawn made the claim that Yan and Ayla would be, well, they're already the best bot lane, as is, but they would still be the best bot lane if they role swapped with each other. And that is some big words coming through from Team Liquid. That's the kind of thing where now, when you're going up against Neo and JJ, Neo just coming down from the LCS, JJ just sent his AD carry up for Dignitas. When you talk big like that, this is when we expect you to show up and prove it.
This is a lot of faith to have in your bot lane, but hey, for good reason. As we said, they are the returning champions. So we head into the second phase of the draft. It is going to be a mid lane focus. Zir banned away, Victor banned away. These are 2 mid laners that are very hard to outban, so only getting a lot of those top meta picks to get off the Rift.
Yeah, and we have to remember, right, I wrote down a bunch of players who had a ridiculous champion pools originally, because I was hoping to talk a bit more about the fact that Concept had played some of the most champions. But Insanity and Harry, actually 2 other players that are right there on the list. Harry tied for 2nd with most unique champions played so far at 14, and Insanity only 1 champion behind at 13. If you're curious, Surdy is actually the number 1 with 15 unique champions played. But Harry and Insanity play whatever the heck they want, man. They do not care what else you're going to be throwing at them. They have so many picks that they're willing to come out with. And now that the Swain has been banned away, it's kind of putting a little bit of pressure onto what they want to do. But we know Insanity, he brought the Vex yesterday. He's willing to showcase new things every time.
He definitely has been willing to. A lot of his other drafts have been a bit more catered towards some teamfight. He's been grabbing Lysandra and Swain quite a bit. And with this setup that you have out of Dignitas right now, some setup is needed for this Jinx, and response right now, Silas locked in for Dignitas.
Yeah, Silas, very good champion on the meta. Yone also very strong, right? It could be a big duel potentially in the mid lane, but this is also something that is potentially playable up in the top side as
What, the Katarina?
So yeah.
I had to throw it back at you, Josh. I had to throw it back at you.
Don just hovers stuff, man. Like, he goes with whatever he feels like, and as the final lock-in comes through, it is going to be the Akali. These are some of the most played champions for players like Leader that we were looking for earlier, like Jimian, like Saligo, who can often have a lot of impact on these champions as well. All right, Spyrex rather. But this is not something that we necessarily expect to be coming out from Insanity and Harry. We've definitely seen Harry play a bit more of the Akali, but I think this is relatively uncommon to see from Insanity.
And Josh, going back to the stat you were talking about, most champions played, Bradley's going to add a champion to that pool, going up to 14 now, as this is the first time he's going to play Renekton this split.
And then we have been seeing this come out a little bit more commonly. It's a surprising blind for me, especially since the Gnar has been coming through. It has been one of Hoon's most successful champions thus far, but... Oh, Eric.
Really?
This is a mid lane Renekton.
Really?
Yep. This is a mid lane Renekton coming out for Harry.
All right, Josh, talk me through this one. This is Renekton into Silas. Renekton, one of the OG lane bullies, just gets some levels up and he can start harassing. How's this going to play out?
This is definitely a matchup that we've started seeing. Well, not this exact matchup, but the Renekton mid lane has started coming out as a counterpick to a lot of these melees, right? The Yasuo, the Yone, the Silas are things that we started seeing the Renekton come into. And you kind of have to build different styles when you're going for this. I've been seeing a lot of the Blade of the Rune King. I've been seeing some lethality. Renekton even come through in the mid lane. You are trying to shut down when these other melee champions are at their strongest. And Renekton, doesn't matter what lane you put him in, he's going to be strong at Dragons 1, 2, and 3, and that is exactly what you need whenever you have this Renekton come through. You know what your game plan is. You want to stop XU from going for these Rift Heralds, and Renekton will do that every time.
Man, that's kind of one of the nice things about the lane swap that we had out of Bradley. Akali works as a mid lane champion, so he's had plenty of time to work on that. It works as a top lane champion as well, so you can do these fun flexes like that. I love this spiciness coming out of the Team Liquid draft.
As we load onto the Rift here, Eric, we have to remember, I think the last time, or at least the most memorable time I have of Bradley playing, we definitely got a little bit of Chadley because he was playing it up against Tenacity, ran over Tenacity's Olaf, and now Bradley going to be going up into Hoon, another very strong laner. Bradley looking to take it to Hoon.
All right, ready to get onto the Rift now. Dignitas Academy versus Team Liquid Honda. And this match right now, it's you're going against Titans if you're Dignitas, but the most you got going for you right now is things have been looking good so far. They had performed against Cloud9, went even onto that one. The upcoming EG already got squashed by Dignitas earlier, so Dignitas, the upswing is still there, all things considered.
Yeah. We also have to remember, right, we said that Team Liquid were on track to have the most dominant split of any Academy team ever. They still have some tough competition coming up ahead of them as we start looking towards Proving Grounds. Evil Geniuses on an upswing. Cloud9 and 100 Thieves all going to be going up against Team Liquid before the rest of this split ends. And Armeo, they've got actually has gotten caught a lot in these level 1s.
He's about to get caught in another. Spots him out in the bush. Just a tease. Kind of a small tour, not taking the full trip just yet.
Going to be okay as everybody does back away, but I'm a little bit surprised they're still grouped up as 3. This is not typical for Team Liquid as they look at their level 1s. It looks like they are simply trying to prevent XU from going for any early game invades of his own. And Bradley should be heading top lane here in just a moment. Actually, is this a read on Insanity going to be dropping a ward?
Oh god. Is it?
Huh?
Okay.
That was 100% trying to read something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that something was. I think it was them trying to catch out a ward that Insanity was going to place. But it ends up being a whole lot of hoopla for very little as everybody goes back to their lanes.
Level 1 hooks. More of them to be had. This mid lane matchup, Harry versus Insanity, the Renekton, I'm quite excited about this one. I think this is a fun one. I think this is a great response out of Team Liquid too. Understanding that when it comes to Dignitas, Insanity has been the primary damage dealer for the squad. On average, 31% of the damage share comes out from him. Stopping him early, making sure to just hard counterpick him, it's a smart move.
Yep, level 2.
Level 2 comes out, and there's the hook onto the level 1 Ayla, and Neo will take first blood. Gets the bot lane of Team Liquid.
Oh, that's a big statement coming out from JJ and Neo, getting that first blood in the 2v2. Jan and Ayla, again, finding a bit of a deficit, and XU has Prio from his bottom lane.
Here comes the invade onto Armeo. Armeo still able to secure this right now. XU doesn't want to bite off more than he can chew, so just going to play it safe onto this one.
Yeah, ooh, nice combo coming through from Hoon, right? Making sure he gets the slow first, but
Dignitas
gets the red
today,
buff.
man.
Oh, no, you know he's there.
Oh, Dignitas have come to fight, Josh. This early game is Dignitas favored.
Oh, yeah, Dignitas. They're definitely putting the hurt down in the bottom lane, but Jan will not miss a whole lot. Armeo fighting XU.
Oh, Armeo, remember me? Remember when you invaded my jungle? Well, this is my lawn, punk. He's going to club away at the back of XU, and even if you try and flash, the bite will take him down.
Nice. There you go. Armeo saving the bite for the very end, right? You can't flash away from empowered auto attacks. Armeo finds the solo kill. It's not first blood, but it is the first kill for the junglers and taking control there, putting XU behind. And XU is definitely one of these junglers that if you start falling behind, he tends to not have great ways back in. He's very reliant on these new plays that he will make around the neutral objectives. But Armeo, fantastic control jungler. And Team Liquid are so good at putting a shutdown to any kind of standard plays. You want to go for Dragons? No, Team Liquid's there.
Armeo, the Grey Neutralizer. That's what he does, and he does it so damn well. Just reading out the invade that came out earlier from XU, then follows it through with the river play. Now Dignitas looking to make a play of their own over in the mid lane. It will force out the flash from Harry. So an attempted play, still keeping up with the aggression will be Dignitas, Josh.
Oh, okay, Hoon. I see you. I see you.
I respect it. I respect it. Big minion wave here, so it's going to be hard to go for the full one-on-one. But if you call Armeo over, that will not still be the case. The flash comes out from Whom. Does not have the hop. One more auto would finish him off. Just needs the Q. Bradley gets it.
All right, Hoon. I respect it. He knows his animation cancels on the Gnar. His mechanics have been good. He was winning the lane up until that point. But Armeo does not leave Bradley out to dry, comes up, makes sure that he's there to punish. And I know as a top laner, that's the kind of thing where Bradley is 100% calling out, yo, this guy is being an absolute psychopath. Can you come gank him next time he jumps on me? And it's like, Armeo's like, yeah, no, I got you. I'll be right there. And lo and behold, Hoon goes right on in. He's out for blood. And Bradley's like, yeah, just do the thing. I told you this was going to happen.
It's the lane he's trying to play to. Have that top side. You know that there have been moments of weakness coming out from Bradley, and Hoon just trying to exploit that. Now XU looking for the play down here, Josh. He's being quite sneaky as he tries to get into that bush.
Yeah. This is another lane where they're very aggressive.
Sneaky, sneaky. Here comes the hook. It lands out of JJ. Still able to get the snare onto Ayla. Forces the flash out before the stun comes from XU.
There we go. Neo and JJ doing a good job playing these fights into the bottom lane, but we have to admit that Jan's doing a much better job actually last hitting, right? He's just up 10 CS after losing, and Bradley level 6.
Looking for the finish on Hoon. Mega Gnar will provide a little bit more help, but it doesn't come in time. Bradley will not wait for that Mega Gnar. Now a fight into the mid lane. Insanity takes it to Armeo. 100 health remains, but Harry is right there. The Croc waiting to rip and tear. Goes right onto Insanity, but Insanity will not fall.
Oh my gosh, these fights are so close. Right on the edge. Team Liquid not turning around.
Oh, Insanity! What in the world, Josh? He throws caution to the wind. Just goes straight for the dive.
2 kills directly coming out. Armeo not able to turn that one around. We're back to a dead even game as Jan dodging away again, but XU's here.
We just got off one bloodbath, Josh. We just got off one bloodbath. You telling me we're about to have another? XU gets the stun. Gonna find it on Jan. Jan has no way out, no flash, no arcane shift, no chance. Neo gets the kill.
And so far, Dignitas, they end up turning things around, and so suddenly we have very different points of power on the map, right? Insanity, 2 kills going up against Harry. Bradley, 2 kills going up against Hoon. And Dignitas, they have a small gold lead already coming out. This is kind of what we were looking at, right? Team Liquid, their early game plans, their early game laning hasn't been going according to plan. But Team Liquid is the kind of team, you give them a lead, they do not give it back. And so Dignitas have to keep up the pressure. It is not enough to say, okay, we got a small lead. We are going to scale into the rest of the game, because Team Liquid, they will take the fight to you come mid-game.
Now this melee matchup going on in the mid lane. Insanity still chasing down Harry. He will just straight up 1v1 him. There is method to the madness, and that method is murder, as he will go right onto Armeo to follow through. JJ looking to try and bring the help. Forces the flash out of Armeo. Insanity, this is the strong point right here, Josh. This is a shining beacon of Dignitas as Bradley looks to take down the top side.
And Bradley having the game right now that he needs to. The rest of the map around him is starting to crumble, but we got the Chadley coming through. 3 kills, 2 of them solo kills going up against Hoon so far. You're just saying, Hoon is one of our best laners, and Bradley like, Hoon who? Doko said I was the best top laner in the league. He put me at tier 1.
Put me there. Do you see that? Do you see that? That means I deserve to win this lane matchup, and I will. 3-0, starting off early. Bradley, my god, he's a Chad.
Yeah, but Dignitas though, still playing to their game plan. They got the first dragon of the game. The mountain will help out quite a bit. And Insanity right now as well, also really putting a hurt to one of our best laners that we've had, right? Yeah. Harry's laning stats have been nuts ever since he joined the North American scene, ever since he came over from playing with Order. you know, in Spawn's words, you know, this giant ball of mechanics so good at laning historically. You know, he gets 10 CS leads in lanes he's not supposed to, and lanes where he's counterpicked that are bad matchups. But now he's... Ooh.
Looking for it is XU, but nothing coming out. Gonna be safe. It's all right. Jan, Ayla, they get to breathe. It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Good. We see the lane swap coming out. This... We're gonna get fire soon in this lane, and it will probably decide how that leads the next like 5 to 10 minutes of the game are going to go, right? Both these guys have big shutdowns. Both these guys have solo killed their lane opponents, and both of the weak laners are like, okay, well, we'll go top. It's okay. We're gonna be just fine. But Bradley and Insanity, when you get these Fed guy matchups, it becomes an insane opportunity for one of them to snowball the game out of control. And it is, again, that talented rookie, the mid lane, going to top lane swap from Bradley, going up against former LCS player, longtime Team Liquid member, Insanity.
See what Bradley can bring. Both of them are 3-0 apiece. And now the fight over on this top side is Harry has the backup of Armeo. Gator and Troll together should be able to find this kill without issue, but there is a response coming out of Dignitas. They are trying to respond in time. A flash comes out of Hoon. He will buy a little bit of time to get Insanity here. Do Dignitas really want to go for the re-engage right here? Gonna opt in to take it. Insanity now going after Armeo. This was a good cut right here. Able to isolate him from the rest of the squad, and Insanity nets a kill.
They give a little bit of gold over to Harry. Much needed, and as you said, Insanity getting another kill. No big response coming out from Bradley, so game remains relatively even. We have not resolved which of our Fed guys is going to be the one that matters in this game, and Bradley is now coming around to poke and see what he wants to do. One of our criticisms we've had of him is he sometimes goes too deep all by himself. He's got friends.
Now here comes Team Liquid looking for a collapse on 3 angles right onto Insanity. Insanity looking to back off, will have to flash away as Harry flashes in for the engage, but the rocket lands right on the Gator's back, and the counter engage from Dignitas is too damn good. Bradley tries to get the execute on XU, will find his own disengage, but Dignitas, they are fighting, man. They are bringing heavy hands.
And you saw Bradley at the end, he landed the shuriken flip onto XU, but chose not to take it. That is the experience starting to come through. That is knowing I can't afford to give over my shutdown for this kill, but Insanity not giving up this Rift Herald without a fight. Whew. Team Liquid, they're doing the standard thing, right? They look at the Rift Herald, but Jan, yet again, isolated in the bottom lane, doing his own thing, trying to farm up. Typically, we'll get a plate or two in these exchanges, but Team Liquid not backing down, not ready to give it back on over, and Harry comes back onto the map. Looks like he's also building the Blade of the Ruin King.
I mean, why should you at this point? Bradley 3-0 up over on that top side. You have a lot of power there. Low health for Insanity, so he can't really contest with the fight. Team Liquid easily grabbing this Rift Herald. Now, the place they choose to throw it down, you could help out Harry more to get him to catch up, or you could just keep exponentiating Bradley.
Yeah, I mean, it does become dangerous, right? Because it is the one Fed guy. Like, I want them to put at least one of Jan and Harry back into the game. You need to give them that little bit of extra gold. You have these mid-game power spikes coming up where Renekton and Ezreal are supposed to be relatively strong on the board, but neither of them are all that strong, right? Even despite the fact that Jan had a pretty decent CS advantage. The fact that he's been left alone, they're not finding the advantage there, and Harry's probably dead.
Ooh, a hook onto Harry. Crowd control, all too easy for Dignitas. And that is death number 4. I want you to keep in mind, Harry has one of the best KDAs when it comes to this. 2 points ahead anyone else. Dying so much in this game right here, right now. Getting caught out so many times. Dignitas have his number.
Yeah, Dignitas looking good. I called them the gatekeeper a number of times, right? It feels like they've become so much better at reducing the crazy coin flips that we were constantly seeing in spring, right? They've become a much more calm team. Have they?
Have they? Here comes the hook. Depth charge goes out. Armeo getting knocked up. Counter engage. Will it be successful for Dignitas? Not willing to go for it. They've lost their front line, but they have Insanity. Insanity coming from the flanks. XU coming out looking to go through the tri-bush. There is a control ward there, but
Team
XU
Liquid,
hasn't been
they're gonna
spotted
get
out.
wiped.
They're committing. They're committing right now. Dignitas, they realize they have a window of opportunity, and they're going to take full advantage as they root down Yon and send him to the respawn.
It's actually a miracle for Team Liquid that they only lose Yon that engage. The Rift Herald used for nothing. But Dignitas fighting themselves a kill and his second dragon, Insanity. Coming up big yet again. Remember yesterday going up against Leader. And one of the best games I'd ever seen him on the Vex. Now on this Silas, something that he has played a couple of times before. This is his 4th appearance on it. Destroying Harry in lane, moving around the map. This is the veteran Insanity saying, I'm not done growing. I'm going to be the next Okla. I'm going to learn more. I'm going to learn from my mistakes and take control.
Insanity's looking absolutely fantastic. And keep in mind, Team Liquid have drafted to counter him. They got the Renekton to match him in lane and take him down. Insanity is 502 right now, dude. Insanity is so far ahead right now. And he's looking to continue with that momentum, with that advantage, as the next fight is going to break out. A simple route landing onto Bradley. Bradley with the sidestep there will stay alive.
Yeah, Bradley, I mean, that could have been the moment where we look to call it.
Oh, Harry showing what this Renekton can do. Hoon put down so far over on that top side. Death number 5 as Harry finds his way back in.
And as good of a game as Insanity is having, we set up Hoon. We're like, yeah, he's a pretty darn good laner. This is not his game. This is not his game. Eric, 0, 5, and 1. Harry found a solo kill on him. Bradley found multiple.
It's soul treatment, man.
Yeah, for a player that says he wants to win LCS and then go to Worlds, right? Like, he's doing okay in the laning phase, but after the laning phase has ended, he's gone for a lot of weird plays, right? He will try and make things happen, and it's actually kind of like Bradley-esque, right? Bradley will go for a lot of plays where he's diving in all by himself. Hoon has done the same kind of thing. And I feel like Hoon, we can break him of a lot of these habits now that he is in Academy, now that he is playing with Deos and has that coaching structure behind him. But it hasn't happened yet.
I mean, I've been saying he's been getting the soul treatment, and if we continue that analogy, Soul didn't have
he's going to LCS,
best laning
easy.
stats, right? Soul didn't have the best laning stats early, and this leads to the next step, right? He just goes to LCS, that's it. 2 weeks of play, goes to LCS. Obviously, with the jokes aside, basically what it's eliminating down to is he's new to the team. You know, he's struggling in lane, but that's part of the development, right? That's part of the experience of getting better, and he has room to grow onto that. See, that room will show quite soon because there is a teleport available. Dragon has been started up. Looking to come in, JJ backing off. Only a little bit of harassment.
Yeah, JJ gonna have to back up. So far, this is one of the things that I am always a little bit hesitant of whenever I see teams have leads against Team Liquid, right? A lot of teams aren't sure how to build that lead, aren't sure how to go to the next step. And Dignitas right now, the gold lead has remained relatively steady, and I think Dignitas are really banking on fighting their lead around this next dragon. It is a Hextech, don't be fooled by the Riot client. We do have Hextech Soul on the Rift. There are the gates for them to play around, and Dignitas knows how powerful this Soul can really be. But that means they got to be there first. That means that all the preparation that they've had XU do and the game plans that they're building around these neutral objectives needs to come to fruition, because there is no team better at playing the macro than Team Liquid.
Even with the consideration that we have, that scaling kind of goes over to Dignitas, just having the Jinx alone. A late game, you can get excited and everything. Team Liquid is still a late game team fighting team. They do so well when they're able to bring that macro together for those closing moments. See if they could do that now. Dignitas, they're not feeling as much of the pressure, all things considered. They don't feel like they need to race for the scaling objective, but you still got to pay respects.
Yeah. So, I mean, as we look, as Andy shows us the goal yet again, we are still seeing one of the things that always feels like it happens in Team Liquid games. They can be even in kills. They get turrets. They get objectives. They take down plates. And now, Bradley, he's with a teleport. It's not Yon on the far side as the Rift Herald is happening.
Started up. Armeo still holding down the Rift Herald.
With the teleports.
Sanity walking up now. He did just lose the Akali ultimate that he had from Bradley. Everfrost goes out, and now this is a collapse coming out from Team Liquid. A quick hop over the wall will keep Insanity okay, but the teleport's now being channeled. Team fight gonna begin. Super Mega Death Rocket goes out as Neo's gonna stay on the long end, but the heart of the fight, Harry has to back out. Harry trying to run away, but XE will take him down. Another kill comes back in as Insanity finally picked off by Armeo, and Dignitas realizing they've lost their main carry. They've lost the chance to win the team fight.
Push comes to shove. Team Liquid, they take down Insanity. They get the shutdown. They get the ripple. They drop it mid. This is what Team Liquid do to teams. You give them an inch, they take a mile. They get the shutdown. They get the mid lane turret. They get the objective. And now they get the dragon as well. Team Liquid are so clutch in these moments. And it all comes down to the fact that there's no battle lines. Neo can't participate in this fight. He throws out the Super Mega Death Rocket, but that's all he's able to accomplish. He leaves Insanity all by his own, and Armeo will have to flash here. That's a small price to pay for the lead that they just got.
Easy pickup for Armeo. Easy choice to decide on. Able to net up that Dragon. Team Liquid, big picks coming in right there, especially able to take down Insanity. That's huge for a lot of these fights because that's where a lot of the gold is. And you can see why you need to take down Insanity, because if you don't and he finds you, he will take you down.
Okay, Insanity throws out the Q. Not that much damage. Just quite yet. But Insanity, not done with the game just yet, right? He's got that Magi Soul Stealer. He's got the AP building up, and Dignitas are firing back. Team Liquid don't get all of their recalls at the same time, so this is the tempo that Dignitas have. Ooh, nice. Well done, Jan. They pick up the red buff, but that's a turret going down in the mid lane. That's a turret going down in the bottom lane. So Dignitas, they're not done. They got a couple objectives right on back, and because it wasn't Bradley that got the shutdown, I'm not sure that the game is done and dusted, right? If Bradley gets that shutdown, he is so far ahead of the curve that nobody on Dignitas can really deal with him on their own. It becomes an entire game dealing with a Chadley on the other side. But Bradley, he's still ahead of the curve, but he's still manageable. Zandy can still fight him.
Ticking time bomb. Armeo.
You guys can't find Insanity though.
Once JJ Insanity's there, takes away the subterfuge. And Dignitas still itching.
Subterfuge?
Trying to fight. Is that not what it's called anymore?
Subterfuge? That's like secrecy and spy stuff, you know? Subjugation.
Subjugation. Thank you. Subjugation. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. That's why I got you here, Josh.
Yeah, you know, it's like when you and King Espresso, right? Yeah. It's not submission holds, it's subjugation holds.
Subjugation holds. I'll use that next time. Head over to his place. Well, he already knows it's coming at this point. You know, he's on the call with us. He's already said bring it to me, so just as Dignitas saying bring it to Team Liquid right now in this game as they try and take down the Titans. Only about an 800 gold lead for them. And this is scary moments because Team Liquid works so well 21 minutes into this in this mid-game stage.
Yeah. And also looking at the gold coming through, we actually have to note that Hoon has done, I'm not sure exactly where this gold has been coming from, but he is even with Bradley, who has 4 kills. Did Hoon get a ton of plates that I wasn't paying attention to?
Guess we completely missed that one if that's the case, because
did he get like 4 plates off the bottom lane turret? There's no way. Where's this money coming from?
All right, observers, we got to rewind time. We got to solve this out. No.
Somebody
Please don't.
Can let us know what's going on, but Dignitas, they find the 3rd turret of the game. They open up the map a little bit, and now we are thoroughly into the mid-game. And Hoon has been known to make some odd decisions at this point, but he's waiting for Harry to use these abilities. And now he fights.
And already burnt off Slice and Dice.
And Harry's dead.
Looking for more. Teleport comes out, coming out faster. Insanity will join the fray. Everfrost to lock him down! Bradley shows up and stuns them all! Now Hoon forced to run underneath his tower, but he's getting chased down. He's getting hunted by Bradley. Will get to safety. Dignitas continuing the fight over in the mid lane. Super Mega Death Rocket goes out of Jan, tries to escape, but gets pulled right back in by JJ. Losing 2 is going to be Team Liquid. Bradley almost able to even it up.
Fed guy. Bradley wins this first battle, but it's not going to be enough as Jan gets caught on the other side of the map. A turret will go down, but Dignitas feeling confident to actually start this up. Bradley has no teleport. It's only Ayla and Armeo who can do anything about this Baron, and I don't know if they know. They figured it out.
They're walking up. They're walking up. They see the control ward. Armeo has a moment to respond, but Armeo and Ayla together, this is not the best combo to try and stop this Baron. It is getting lower. Armeo, realizing the situation, has to walk up, gets pulled in against the wall, thanks to the Meganar ultimate. Armeo goes in. He does not get the steal. Team Liquid
Watch
down
Bradley,
to Baron.
Bradley.
Here comes Bradley. Has a lot of damage to work with, but gets taken down. Oh, so fast. Dignitas with Baron. Dignitas with a team fight win. Dignitas looking to take down Team Liquid.
Dignitas suddenly so far ahead of this game. Ryan Bradley, that's who we were looking at. Those are the moments that we were asking that he would look to fix. He tries to dive in 1v5, man. We can't be doing that. We can't be doing that over the Baron after the objective is gone. We can't be doing that when there is another Dragon. Harry getting caught out. Team Liquid falling apart.
At the seams, Harry, no man's land for him, and this should be a pretty easy. Actually, Harry trying really hard to get some vengeance. It's actually going to force out the flash there. Do want to point that one out. Even though it's a kill picked up, it was not for nothing. Neo losing his flash is still a big deal for some of these later fights.
This is wild, right? Dignitas suddenly coming right on back. I feel as though Insanity has been having some of their best games. This is the best week of Insanity I think I have ever seen him play. He's been looking absolutely monstrous, taking down Harry multiple times. I don't know if he wants this 1v2, but I've seen crazier things.
He has gotten spotted out, but still can steal away that ultimate from Bradley. Sanity so good, such a threat there in the bottom lane, and this is going to result in Dignitas using their momentum in the mid lane, trying to take down this tower. But Neo's getting low. Neo's getting really low. No True Shot Barrage available for Yan, but this poke is really starting to add up for Yan. Neo trying to get some return here. Here comes Bradley. JJ's going to sacrifice his life to try and save Neo. A big push, just running it down straight the mid lane, Team Liquid.
Good job from Insanity, cutting the wave as much as possible. But now he needs to survive. He has the perfect execution.
Okay. Hoon over on this top side. Not the place you want to be. It stops the gate. Insanity doesn't have an escape anymore.
Outplay this, buddy.
Ooh.
I'm Trundle.
He's going for it. He's getting away. He's slipping right out. Insanity will find the top lane, but Armeo's going to find a Hex Gate. Neo's still over there. Team
Yan!
Liquid, they're dedicating to this one, and now Yan, this might be a bad place for him to be. Following through is going to be Insanity. He tries to get out to Yan. We'll get one more auto to finish him off. A trade 1-for-1 as Bradley's able to pick one up. The Fed brothers trying to get something done, but Armeo able to club him down. Bradley still staying alive.
This is not the clean Team Liquid we've been used to seeing. This is Dignitas pushing them to their limits. Bradley also big shutdown onto Neo on the top side of the map. But Harry, 1Q probably kills him. Oh, who? Oh,
Small things. It's the small things.
Small things. It's the little things, right? You know, Harry, Skitty is suffering. Going to be suffering after this game. But we get a replay. Take another look at this, and Yan goes too far forward, looking for his way to Insanity. Doesn't know exactly where it is, and Insanity sees Yan first. Ooh. Oh, if the chains landed, Yan was like nowhere close, but the second chains land.
And this
Bradley
is the part we
picking up
missed right
Neo.
here.
Yeah. Okay. Eric, this is a rough moment for Team Liquid fans. I will count myself among them. The Team Liquid fans kind of looking at this and going, "Wait a second, this isn't what we signed up for." Where's the clean gameplay? You're trying to get us in and out over 2 games in under an hour of game time. You're using up most of your allotment already.
I mean, that's Insanity for you.
It's Insanity.
Step up.
True.
He is that brick
True,
wall
we can
that's
still be
keeping
Team
them
Liquid
alive.
fans, because Insanity used to be on this team.
That's true. That's
Easy.
true. That's true. We got it completely cleared. Foolproof plan, Josh.
We checking out. It's a win-win, no matter what.
We win no matter what side we're on.
Yeah, David Shaw. I told him yesterday on Twitter, brother, you're so hot. Today, trying to recreate that. You know, we can get a whole calendar of Insanity games off of just this week, buddy.
The Insanity pinup calendar.
I mean, I'd buy it.
I'd buy it.
That's 2.
Yeah, all right, Insanity, make it happen. Dignitas. I just heard one from
3.
Kangas.
Genghis is 3. Look, well. that is not fitting my narrative, unfortunately, Kangas.
Yeah, in fact, Kangas said he wants it faster than anyone else.
Yeah,
He will-
he's
he will- he
gonna
will
pay
buy
extra
copy
for
after copy.
the shipping when it comes through. But the game's not over. The game is not over still. Danny has done a fantastic job thus far, and we know Silas later on in the game becomes really, really difficult to kill, right? He just sits there and brawls, and it's just like a ball of stats that just doesn't seem to die. There's no grievous wounds coming out from the side of Team Liquid just quite yet, right? The only thing they really have is a couple of ignites to prevent him from doing anything there. As we get towards the next dragon, I'm not sure that the ignites are going to be enough to prevent Insanity from taking over these fights. Dignitas are here first. And Team Liquid don't have any easy objectives to punish Dignitas for being there too early.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you can point out was we were talking about that flash being down from Neo. It's going to be back up for this dragon fight. What do Team Liquid do? They got to prioritize something. They're looking to try and contest this Dragon Soul, but it's going to be a hard fight to do without any solid flank to really be had here. Baron will be spawning at the same time as well. So we'll see what Team Liquid are looking to go for. Yeah, the Meganar bar coming up even higher. So team fight positioning now set up for Dignitas.
Dignitas is poised to win. Insanity around the side has the Banshee's Veil. Can dodge out of one ability from Akali, and that is a lot. Akali doesn't overkill by that much damage. Hoon on the side.
So right there, Jan, Arcane shifts forward to try and get some harassment onto him. And even better yet, if he can get some damage and trigger that Meganar prematurely, that would be rough for Hoon.
Yeah. I mean, that's a 15-second window, right? If Jan hits him with another Q, Dignitas are forced to fight in a 15-second window. Bradley caught.
Oh, Bradley. Wrong place to be. Now looking for the CC, looking to root down Bradley, but he gets up the Shroud. Now Insanity goes deep. Two of our most fed characters in this game duking it out right now as Team Liquid. Not in the best place to be. Looking to back off suddenly. Clipped out into two different positions, waiting for that pincer to happen. Insanity over the wall, goes after Bradley, tries to get the execute on Bradley, hops right after him, but Bradley will outplay. Dignitas still standing 4 strong, slipping over towards the river. Armeo runs low as well. Not much harassment to be had from Armeo and Ayla. Now Bradley has an opportunity to close this game out if he can get his recall fast enough and get the teleport going. Now the charge. Here comes Harry. Slice and dice away. Teleport going to be used. Dignitas not in a position you want to be. Here comes Hoon from the sidelines. Does not have that Meganar bar form. And now standing 4 strong, both sides. Yawn down, Insanity down. Health bar is getting lower for Team Liquid.
Hoon has his ultimate back up again, needs to build up the rage bar, waiting for Insanity. He has teleport as well, but Hoon may be caught.
Ooh, Harry goes in, he's trying to get something, but Hoon will have it. Now XU goes deep, tries to find Armeo. Ultimate gonna be pop. XU will be challenged. Now Bradley gonna join the fight. Here comes the Meganar, here comes the teleport. Is it gonna be enough pay to end this out for Dignitas? As Hoon will slam Bradley and get Dignitas a team fight win. One more whale away coming out from Insanity to lock down Armeo, but Armeo barely slips away.
And another challenger. It's like a new Smash Pass, a new season. They catch Armeo.
Oh, Insanity grabs Armeo. Full health for Insanity, trying to poke out his Jan. And this Dragon Soul still on the table. Death timer still ticking away. 2 down for Dignitas, 3 down for Team Liquid.
Don't need to flip this right now, but Team Liquid ready to go.
JJ, here comes the charge going onto Jan. Hoon over the wall, tries to chase onto Jan. Ayla nowhere to be but in no man's land as Hoon sees the Meganar bar coming closer, almost gets picked off by Jan, who will true shot over the wall, Arcane over the wall. And now the Dragon started by Dig. It is Dragon Soul time, but Harry... Whoa! Super Mega Death Rocket!
Yo, what are with the games today, man? Just non-stop action back and forth, but Dignitas, this should be a lead enough to take down even Team Liquid. Team Liquid pushed them back to the brink. Bradley, 8 kills. But just as we were looking at earlier, right, as well as Leader was doing, as well as Insanity was doing, and was not having a great game. And if we look, Bradley, Harry, this is probably the most uncharacteristic game from Team Liquid we've seen this entire split. They are getting dismantled by Dignitas. Dignitas are winning on all fronts at this point. And notice, who's the one with a shutdown? Not Bradley.
JJ's holding the line right now. Chompers go out. Bradley looking at the sidelines, but Baron goes down way too damn fast. Dignitas, they will secure it. And with this, it's looking good for them, Josh. 6K lead into their pocket right now. They have a lot that they can play with. Still towers up on those inners, so this map is so strongly a Dignitas map, Josh.
It's a Dignitas map, and Team Liquid are past their prime point of relevance, right? Harry, the player, the Oceanic Ball of Stats, comes through. He's supposed to be so good at laning that he comes out with a lead in situations where he's not supposed to. He's up 50 CS, but, I mean, it's Renekton at 3 items, right? Like, cool, I guess. Like, you can still be a frontline. Ezreal doesn't really fall off, but his damage is no longer at its prime spot. Resistances are starting to get built up. Dignitas have ways to mitigate what Jan is going to be doing. And really, Bradley, the rookie we set up, the person we said might be the weakest member of Team Liquid, he needs to stand up and prove he's not a liability.
Can he do it
He's
right
our
now?
carry.
Can he do it right now? 8-2-1. So many kills have gone over to Bradley. He's bursted down members of Dignitas in the past. Can he be that hero that Team Liquid need? Because they need him right now. As he will dive in, trying to take down XU. Gonna force out the Guardian Angel. Harry falls. Bradley still needs to stand. And there goes XU. Able to hit the first reset. Deep onto the backline. Bradley falls. And so does Team Liquid's chance of closing this out.
Dignitas, they're trying to find the end of the game. They walk in, they have the Baron, they have the Hex Tech Soul. They won the bottom lane. They won the Doobie Doos mid lane. And Neo, Insanity, standing tall. The LCS representatives coming through from Dignitas are the ones that are making the difference, and Team Liquid can do nothing.
Final close right now. It is just formal to do the final signing of the contract to get that win of game number 1. Dignitas taking down our first place squad.
Insanity, brother, once again, you are looking so hot today, man.
So
you got the new
hot,
bucket
baby.
hat. I saw it on Twitter. Ready to go yet again. The new fashion, the new drip is really looking good on you, man. And Insanity takes control of the mid lane, beats up Harry, finds solo kills there, finds a solo kill onto Armeo as well, giving him payback for all the years that they had to play together. Insanity really taking control, and I'm loving what we're seeing from Insanity, right? He was a middle-of-the-pack player in the mid lane for, I think, most of the Academy split thus far, but the play that he has demonstrated this week is absolutely starting to bring him into the conversation of whether or not he might be a most valuable prospect.
He's always been a top contender, but man, was that game a show. I also want to point out Neo on top of that one on this Jinx. Even though it wasn't the most flashy plays, some of those picks were so crucial. That Super Mega Death Rocket onto Jan was really game-defining for Dignitas.
Yeah, I mean, just catching him out, right? It's just a small spot where Team Liquid, they're so patient in their team fights so much of the time. But you can't be patient when you have these 3 melee champions. You need to pick your moment and go. And Dignitas are just better at that today.
All right, Josh, we're in it for the long haul, it appears. We're just going to have nothing but slobber knockers each and every day. And if that's going to be the case, that means we need to have our break so we can catch our breath. We'll be right back. We'll have Kangas to rejoin us for our intermission.